Welcome back. It's time to route the neck pocket for this guitar. And what I've got is a neck pocket template, and I'm going to lay it on the instrument and basically draw out where the pocket goes on the body. Then I'll take my safety glasses. I always wear your safety glasses when working with power tools. And I'll use a Forstner bit. I think this is like a 7/8 or 1-inch bit, and hog out material. And I want to go a little bit shy of the actual depth. The depth of this pocket for the type of guitars I'm making is 5/8 is standard depth. The portion of the Forstner bit that actually does the cutting, minus the shaft, is a 1/2 inch depth. So I'm just going to drill down until the back of that portion is flush with the top of the guitar, or thereabouts, close as I can get by eye. And I'm taking all of this out because what I want is as little wood left as possible for the router to deal with. That is something about routers that you should know if you plan to use them, is that you should try your best to do most of the work with other tools so that you don't put a heavy strain on the router. Now you can buy big, huge industrial routers that have enough power to handle all that, but if you're going to use a router by hand, you want as little resistance as possible, because the router is probably one of the most dangerous tools that you will ever hold in your hand. And you don't want the thing grabbing wood, grabbing grain, and moving wherever it wants to. You want to control it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the router and take small little bites and route this cavity out to the depth of those holes that I drill. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use the same principle that I was just talking about. You see that blue tape there? That was an attempt on my part to make the pocket slightly smaller, so the fit would be tighter. But the tape, that's like cheap painter's tape, and it did not hold up. If I try this again, I need a better type of tape. But now what I'm going to do is, now that I've got the pocket routed down to the depth that I drilled it to, it's about 1/8 of an inch away from the bottom, the actual depth that I wanted. So I'm going to take 2 passes at 1/16 of an inch depth at a time. So you saw me adjust it, and now I'm going to cut down deeper in this pocket by 1/16 of an inch. Just tiny little passes. I could have done 1/8 of an inch. It probably would have been okay. But the less strain you put on the router, the better everything works, because the bit is spinning at a very fast rate of speed. And if you see, I'm moving across and up and down and side to side, and if you take too big of a cut, that bit can catch, and before you know it, it'll cut a chunk clean out of whatever you're working on. So the best thing to do is go easy. And now I'm making a final adjustment to bring the neck pocket down to the correct depth. Then we route to final depth. And then unplug the router. As soon as you set it down, you're done with it. Unplug it. If you change bits on it, unplug it. You do not want the thing turning on when you don't expect it to. That little piece is normal. And checking the fit. That works for me. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of shape this a bit with a file. This is just preliminary. What I'm trying to do is make sure there are no ragged or jagged ends or anything like that, and it's good and smooth so that it doesn't catch on something and split further. Because you don't want that. And then look at the fit again. And so that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.